All right, so the first one says point F is the midpoint of AE. If F is the midpoint, that means you need to mark those two segments as being congruent. It says DG is perpendicular to AB. So where DG and AB intersect, and you have a right angle marking. Then finally, DG is an angle bisector. So the angle that is bisecting is down here. So those two angles need to be marked. Nothing else should be marked in that figure. Questions on that one? Good? All right, next one. AB is 20 centimeters long, so we have a segment AB that is 20 centimeters long. And it tells us point C divides it into a ratio of 2 to 3. So remember, if it's a ratio, we need to put x's with it because we don't know what they factored out. So now it just becomes this called segment addition. So adding my segments here. 2x plus 3x has to equal 20. Combine our like terms, we have 5x equals 20. Divided by 5, we get x equals 4. So when I plug it back in, 2 times 4 gives me 8 for AC. 3 times 4 gives me 12 for CD. Good on that one? We'll probably see a ratio tomorrow. All right, then the next 4 are just making sketches. So we have an angle ABC. B must be our vertex. A and C, 1 point on one ray, 1 point on the other. This is angle bisector ray BD. Because it's a ray, I need an arrow at the end. D needs to be on there somewhere on that ray. Then, because it's an angle bisector, my two angles are congruent. Next one down, it says ray ST intersects segment ST. So ray ST, there's my ray, intersects SB. Here's S, so I have to use it. So I'm going to make a segment off of S. There's SP. So now Q, SQ, and QP have to be congruent. So I need to put Q either to the left of that segment, on the segment, or to the right of it. It doesn't really matter. So if I put Q here, connect those, and those two segments must be congruent. Good on those? All right, next one. It says line ABs. Let's start with the line. Arrows on both ends. I need points A and B. It says it's perpendicular to FG. So if you remember, FG really can be anywhere along AB there. I can do the up or down as long as it's intersecting to be perpendicular. Is that okay? Okay, last one where you're sketching here. It says A and B are parallel, which means I need lines A and line B need to be parallel. So you need to have lowercase letters. It's either at the very end of one of the lines. Okay, don't put it in the middle. Arrows on my lines, and then because A and B are parallel, I need an arrow in the middle of the line somewhere. Then it says B is parallel to C. So here's line C again. I can use one arrow, or I could have done another set of arrows to match just B and C. Either way would be okay. Questions on those? Okay, so this then stemmed from section 8 homework. If you were to take a cone, slice it through that vertex, open it up, what two-dimensional shape are you going to see? Triangle. It's a triangle. All right, how about the cylinder? If I slice it vertically, what are you going to see? A rectangle. What if I were to slice that one horizontally? You would see a circle. Is that okay? All right. Then this was dealing with the rotations. So what if I had a rectangle there and I were to rotate it around that axis? What shape would it make? Careful, it's going in a circle, so it has to have a circle base, so it has to be a cylinder. It's going to be a cylinder. Because it's going in a circle, that's what makes the circle base. How about my triangle? It's going to make a cone. Again, this is going around the circle, so that base is going to have to be circular, right? So that's why this has to be a cone. All right, guys, we got two more. Almost there, X. All right, next one. It says AB is equal to 4x plus 24. And it tells us BC is 5x plus 26. I know all of AC is 149. So this is another segment addition where we're adding our segments together, two smaller segments equal the whole thing. So I would have 4x plus 24 plus 5x plus 26. That should be equal to 149. Okay, so I can combine my like terms. I get 9x, 24 and 26, give me 50 equals 149. If I subtract 50 from both sides, I get 9x equals 99. Divide by 9, I get x equals 11. Questions on that one? All right, last one. Last one says B is the midpoint of AC. If B is the midpoint, that means these two segments have to be congruent, right? All right, then it says AB is equal to negative 10x plus 29. And it says AC is equal to negative 55x minus 12. Okay, so are these two expressions equal to each other? No, because this negative 10x plus 29 only goes from A to B. But because we know B and C and A and B are the same length, I know then I can use the same expression. So you can either add them together or you can multiply by 2. You can multiply by half, but then I'm dealing with decimals, and honestly, that's just more opportunity for error. Right? If you can avoid decimals, try to do that. So I would have negative 10x plus 29 and another negative 10x plus 29. Sorry, I don't know why I just did that. Are you okay if I leave that? Just show that I'm truly adding those together. I know that's poor form, but is that okay? Just to demonstrate what we're doing. Okay, equals negative 55x minus 12. All right, so if I combine my like terms, I have negative 20x plus 58 equals, I still have my negative 55x minus 12. If I add 55x to both sides, I'm going to get a 35x. Subtract 58 from both sides, I get a negative 70. Divide by 35, I get x equals negative 2. Now they want to know what's the measure of AC. Okay, well, AC is this whole length. So I need to take negative 55 times the negative 2, then subtract 12. So it gives me 110, take away 12, gives me 98. Any questions on that? All right, so let's talk about the actual test tomorrow. I put at the top of your first review, make sure you read through your vocabulary, right? Because there's a lot of vocabulary in chapter 1, like a horrible amount of vocabulary. The rest of the chapters are a little bit better, I think. There are 1, 2, 3, at least 4 sections in here of vocabulary that are pure matching. Where I give you, like, here are the basic terms, match it up with the definition. So I'm not going to ask you to write out any definitions. Okay, so you just need to be able to recognize them. So shape recognition in terms of 3-dimensional figures and 2-dimensional. So think about what we did. We did quadrilaterals specifically. Remember all those special quadrilaterals? And we did 3-dimensional figures in terms of shape recognition. There's going to be some drawing on there, some of the congruent figures, like what you see in your first review. There are always sometimes numbers on there. Okay, but we've done every one of them. So think about what we've done always sometimes never with. We did it with the quadrilateral family tree, right? We talked about how you can always be less specific. Sometimes you can be more. You can never jump side to side. We also talked about it with like chords and diameters. Supplementary and linear pair. We also did equilateral and isosceles. Okay, so those are your always, sometimes, nevers. And then there's some calculation ones with angles and segments. I feel like if you were to make sure you're good with your reviews, read through maybe some of the vocabulary stuff, like those first couple sections, I felt like had a lot of vocabulary in it. Maybe just look through that, it should be okay. Make sense? Any questions that I did not clear up for you? Okay, I'm here after school, I'm here before school, study hall, if you're in study hall, come see me. Okay, I might be able to help you still today or tomorrow, right? Tomorrow morning, don't forget though, tomorrow's short period. Okay, we'll make it work. So don't forget tomorrow morning, we only have like 10 minutes before school, so if you need to see me, you're probably going to have to email me right away. Okay, if you need to see me before school, maybe I can write you a pass the first period. Good? Okay, the rest of the time is yours. Make sure you do look over stuff tonight.